Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ridge warns Steffi when Poppy confesses that Finn's Luna's father. According to Thursday, January 30th spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffi Forrester and Daphne Rose will have another strategy session, while Hope Logan and Carter Walton will spend some time canoodling in the workplace. On Thursday's BMB show, Ridge Forrester will also be discussed by Daphne and Steffi. Steffi might counter that Carter's deception of them into giving over LLC control was the first dirty act, even though Ridge will caution against becoming too involved. When it comes to Hope and Carter, Steffi won't really mind using dirty tactics, even if she eventually attempts to please Ridge. Steffi will therefore wholeheartedly support Daphne's next seduction moves and urge her to advance their plot at full speed. Luna Nozawa will carry on her most recent discussion with Bill Spencer at the Spencer Mansion, maintaining her conviction that her father must not be Tom Starr. Given Poppy Nozawa's history of sleeping around, Bill would concede that it's conceivable, but he might reiterate that he thinks it's wishful thinking. Luna will believe that her real father may still be out there, even though Bill insists that the mystery has been solved. He will be waiting for Poppy's response in John Finnegan's office, now that he has sought the truth regarding Luna's paternity. Poppy, Finn's first girlfriend in the past, had previously maintained that he couldn't have fathered Luna. Naturally, Finn thinks Poppy may have lied now that all of these other bio-dad contenders have been ruled out. On Wednesday's episode, after BMB ended, Finn forced Poppy to finally acknowledge whether Luna was his daughter. Poppy will have the opportunity to come clean on Thursday's show, and since Finn could simply conduct his own paternity test at this point, she might as well. Given when Luna was conceived, Poppy can admit that she has always known Finn was the father. Maybe Poppy will say that she simply didn't want to ruin Finn's future or cause a rift with Lee and Jack Finnegan by telling the truth. When Luna falsified the paternity test to make Bill appear to be her biological father, Poppy apparently allowed herself to think she might have been mistaken. Although Poppy could acknowledge that she always knew on some level that it wasn't true, it was a pleasant fiction to be caught up in at the moment. Nevertheless, Finn might eventually perform a paternity test to confirm that he is, in fact, Luna's father. As he attempts to determine what will happen next, you can bet that Finn will snap at Poppy for her long-held secret. Poppy will most likely beg Finn to simply keep his lips shut, but he might not be amenable to that. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Finn will eventually need to notify Steffi on this startling revelation. Stay tuned for additional predictions on how this will impact his marriage. The tale of Finn's first encounter with Poppy and Luna's conception. According to Wednesday, January 29th spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna Nozawa bemoaned to Bill Spencer the turbulent upbringing she experienced with her mother, Poppy Nozawa. Poppy gave her the name Luna because she adored her daughter, but Luna questioned how it was possible, given that Poppy had concealed her father. Despite Poppy's constant insistence that they only needed one another, Luna's life had clearly been impacted by her inability to get answers regarding her father. Luna remained adamant that Tom Starr was not her biological father. Lee Finnegan met with Jack Finnegan at Il Giardino and received another apologies for his errors with Sheila Sharp. Jack told Lee that he still loved her and hoped that one day she would forgive him. Since Lee assumed Jack had an affair with Poppy and that he got her pregnant, she thought it was her responsibility to apologize for making the incorrect assumptions. Jack felt sorry for Lee because he knew how hurt she must have been to believe it for so long. Lee and Jack shared an intimate moment after Jack took her hand. Deacon Sharp appeared on Wednesday's BMB show and implied that John Finnegan would be pleased to see his parents in this arrangement. Since he didn't want to discuss this subject over the phone, Finn called Poppy in the hospital and asked her to come to his office. Finn discussed all of the recent Luna paternity issue between Jack and Lee with Poppy once she arrived. Poppy maintained that since Finn was preoccupied with his family and work, he didn't need to worry about her. Finn commented that it would be heartbreaking to miss the time spent with your children that you can never get back. Finn noted that Luna might have gone down a horrible road because she didn't have any answers. The doctor also mentioned Tom's letters and questioned whether Poppy sent them back since she was aware that he wasn't Luna's father. When Poppy became anxious and asked why Finn was questioning her, he said that she was aware of the reason. That sparked a conversation about how, when they lived with Jack and Lee, Poppy would often join Finn on the roof. Poppy thought about their conversations till the sun rose, and said she had never been able to confide in someone so completely before. Finn and Poppy hit the sheets in Finn's room one night because they couldn't resist. Given that he was adopted and of legal age, Finn admitted that his first experience was with Poppy and that there was nothing wrong with it. But in the end, Finn claimed he realized how foolish it was looking back. She acknowledged that Poppy changed her life after Finn mentioned that he had changed his. When he brought up Poppy's pregnancy and her assertion that the baby could not possibly be his, Finn replied that was what worried him. He wanted the truth, because Poppy had left and largely kept Luna away from Finn after that. Finn felt the urge to know whether there was any possibility that Luna was his. Finn wondered whether he was Luna's father and forcefully pushed an emotional Poppy to tell him the truth. Stay back for updates on the paternity news and all the upcoming surprises, as our predictions suggest that Poppy will eventually lose it and blow the beans. According to teasers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Poppy's confirmation might permanently alter Finn's life. Lee and Jack reconnect, Poppy's lifelong lies, and Luna's father. Luna Nozawa lashes out at her mother's deception. Lee and Jack Finnegan also get back together. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna Nozawa's treatment. According to the BNB recap, Luna is reminded that no one can know she's visiting Bill Spencer's estate. According to Luna, the Nozawa family is very skilled at keeping secrets. Luna claims that Poppy is a party animal, inebriated, and man-crazy. Poppy said it was just the two of them, according to Luna. Luna counters that her mother simply didn't love her enough to be honest with her about her father. Nozawa power is meaningless, according to Luna. Luna claims that her mother has lied a lot. Bill informs Luna that she must accept accountability for her deeds. Bill believes Poppy had a hand in what transpired, though. Luna continues to deny that Tom Starr is her father. BNB recap, Jack Finnegan issues an apology. Lee and Jack sat down at Il Giardino. Sheila Carter Sharp will not be present today, Deacon Sharp announces. Jack expresses regret to Lee for his betrayals. Jack claims she wants Lee's forgiveness and that she still loves her. Deacon returns with supper. Finn would be delighted to see them together, Deacon said. Jack and Lee both concur that they want Finn to be content once Deacon departs. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, John Finnegan's confrontation. According to The Bold and the Beautiful recap, Finn considers Lee about his unique relationship with Poppy. Poppy receives a call from Finn inviting her to his office. Finn is fully aware of Lee's charges and Jack's paternity test. Poppy tells Finn she never had sex with Jack. Finn is aware. Finn wishes for the reconciliation of Poppy and Lee. Finn is reminded by Poppy that he has his own family to consider. Finn concurs, but adds that missing out on the opportunity to raise a child would be devastating. Poppy is asked by Finn to identify Luna's father. She returned all of Tom's letters, but why? Finn explains that many issues resulted from denying Luna a father. Poppy and Finn recall the evenings they spent conversing and observing the sunrise. Poppy claimed to have wandered around a lot and to be lonely. She then moved in with Jack and Lee, where she spent time getting to know Finn. Finn and Poppy remember that night when they gave in to temptation. Finn had never done it before. Finn's life was revolutionized by Poppy. Poppy vowed to him years ago that Luna could not be his, according to Finn. However, Poppy and Luna abruptly disappeared. Is he the father of Luna? Finn wants Poppy to tell him the truth. Luna's paternity test verdict, Finn and Steffi's crude anniversary present? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Shin fans find out this week that Steffi Forrester and John Finn Finnegan's anniversary is approaching. Unless anything unforeseen happens, it is reasonable to assume that these two legendary figures will have a lavish party. Luna Nozawa's paternity could be the cause of that surprising occurrence. Shin's loved ones appear eager to celebrate their love, based on a preview footage for the week of January 27th to 31st. However, Is it too soon to assume that they will have a happy ending? Here's what you should know. Shin's anniversary spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Taylor Hayes and Ridge Forrester, Steffi's parents, talk about their daughter's impending anniversary in the teaser video. It makes reasonable that Tridge would want to do something special for Shin since they are now blissfully together. However, as they say, the best laid intentions. If Shin gets sidetracked, just as Tridge gets back on track, it would be ironic. Steffi is ecstatic with her parents' reconciliation, and it would be ideal for her and Finn to celebrate their wedding anniversary with a happy celebration to celebrate real love. Particularly after Hope Logan and Carter Walton's hostile takeover at FC ruined the Forresters' business plan. Right now, everyone could use a little humor, and what better way to divert attention than with a romantic fairy tale? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Tridge wants to honor Shin. Steffi and Finn don't have any big plans for their anniversary, according to the preview footage. According to BMB spoilers for the week of January 27th to 31st, Tridge prioritized family, which can indicate a lavish celebration for Finn and Steffi. Ridge and Taylor's decision to invite Finn's parents, Jack and Lee Finnegan, as well as his aunt, Poppy Nozawa, makes sense. Last week, this trio discovered that Jack is not Luna Nozawa's biological father. This implies that someone else, possibly Finn, is the fortunate one. After much waiting, Luna's paternity has finally been revealed, and some fans are certain that Finn is her father. BNB spoilers, is Finn Finnegan the father of Luna Nozawa? Do you think Shin will receive a bad surprise gift for their anniversary, BNB fans? What are your thoughts on making Finn Luna's father a cousin as well? Steffi Forrester had always been observant, perceptive, and not one to ignore questionable behavior, particularly in family situations. She had been aware of Poppy and Lee's underlying tension for weeks. It was a much deeper enmity than the typical tense-in-law relationship. A deep, unresolved past was the only source of the animosity that pervaded every meeting between the two ladies, along with clipped words and implicit hatred. Although Lee had always been aloof and contemptuous of Poppy, something had changed suddenly, turning Lee's contempt into something more intense and pressing. Never one to let sleeping dogs lie, Steffi had begun to listen more intently. Steffi was drawn to Poppy's anxiety, the way she would abruptly shift the topic if old issues arose, and the way she appeared to sidestep even the most basic inquiries concerning her past, not just Lee's rage. Steffi was desperate to discover what Poppy was concealing. Their family secrets were seldom kept hidden for long, and when they did come to light, they frequently left devastation in their wake. She had learned this lesson the hard way. In contrast, Finn was making every effort to maintain harmony. He had admired Lee as a child, believing her to be the epitome of discipline, strength, and accuracy. She had instilled a strong moral code in him, and he was starting to feel worried about the possibility that she was harboring a long-standing resentment toward Poppy for reasons other than the carelessness, irresponsibility, and instability she had always stated. He knew there must be more to the story, and he was beginning to worry that whatever it was may upend all he held dear. Naturally, Steffi wasted no time in addressing Finn. With her arms folded, she examined his distressed face and pushed, "You need to talk to your mother." This goes beyond her disdain of Poppy's way of life or some small-scale rivalry. Something more significant is happening here, and I believe Luna is involved. Finn rubbed the back of his neck and let out a breath. He had been trying to steer clear of this particular discussion since he knew in his heart that Steffi was correct. Lee was defending something, not merely passing judgment. Furthermore, Poppy was afraid in addition to being defensive. "Do you believe Lee is withholding something from me, even though he already knew the answer?" Finn inquired at last. Steffi's head cocked. "I believe she has been hiding something from us all." Like a boulder, the weight of her words descended upon him. Finn had lived his entire life with the conviction that Lee was always honest and that her actions were always logical and reasonable. However, he wasn't sure how he would react if she had been lying, or worse, if she had been concealing anything that had an immediate impact on Luna. Then there was Poppy, who had been acting a bit strangely lately. There had always been something mysterious about her, but now it was different. She felt like she was about to fall apart now. When Lee was around, Finn had noticed how her hands trembled, as if she was frantic to get Luna out of the Forrester mansion. He had assumed it was just their usual conflict, but what if it was more? What if Luna's father is connected to this? Steffi proposed, her tone now more subdued and calm. What if Lee is aware of his true identity? Finn felt his stomach tighten. His blood ran cold at the prospect of his mother being somehow engaged in the paternity question, which had already caused enough chaos. Was that the reason she had always treated Poppy with such contempt? Because of something she knew that Finn didn't? Finn finally said, "I have to talk to her," in a voice that was almost audible above a whisper. Steffi gave a nod. "And you must be ready for the truth, whatever it may be." A feeling of dread gripped Finn's chest as he gazed out the window, watching the sun set over the skyline of Los Angeles. He had always thought he understood who he could trust and where he came from. But everything he believed to be true was about to alter if Steffi was correct, and there was a more sinister cause for the distance between Lee and Poppy. He was frightened by that. Finn had always taken great satisfaction in being a man of principles, a guy who made choices based on justice, reason, and most importantly, love. However, now that he found himself at the intersection of his personal and professional lives, he had to make a choice that could change everything. His world had been upended by the revelation of Luna's paternity, which caused the solid ground he had assumed to move beneath his feet. Every decision he made now felt significant since he had changed from being a worried buddy to suddenly learning he was Luna's biological father. The discovery had completely upended Luna's world, and Finn knew she needed direction, stability, and most of all, honesty. Whether it was Sheila, Liam, or the drama in the Forrester family, he had devoted so much of his time to defending Steffi, standing by her side, and maintaining their marriage. Now, however, he had to face a new reality. Since Luna was his daughter, he couldn't watch helplessly as choices regarding her future were made without consulting him. In contrast, Steffi's viewpoint was quite different. She had battled for Finn, made a life with him, and would not allow anyone or anything to stand in their way. Luna's involvement in their lives, however, was a challenge she hadn't expected. Since she now understood the truth, Finn's protectiveness toward Luna felt like an impending threat, even though she had initially embraced it as a nice, almost paternal impulse. Steffi had noticed Finn's current expression toward Luna, which was one of accountability, resolve, and an unidentified quality. It was profound, significant, and unnerving, but it wasn't romantic. She wasn't going to allow this revelation to erode the solid marriage she had worked so hard to build with Finn. She therefore took charge of the situation, which was her strongest suit. Steffi wasn't new to playing nasty. She put everything she had into fighting for what she wanted. And for the time being, she wished to ensure that Luna continued to be a peripheral figure in their lives rather than a nuisance in their house. So long as it meant changing the story, removing Poppy, or even forcing Finn to question his intuition, then so be it. She had fought for her family for too long to allow a mistake from the past to ruin everything. However, as Steffi manipulated the circumstances to her advantage, another storm was building, one that nobody anticipated. Bill Spencer, who was notorious for his chaotic personal life and brutal professional methods, had a secret of his own. And it was only a matter of time until it fell apart in unexpected ways. Bill had been observing the Luna situation from a distance for weeks, but not because he didn't care. He had actually been more involved than he wanted to acknowledge. There was something about Luna that bothered him and drew on long-forgotten memories. Everything seemed too coincidence, the moment, the situation. Furthermore, Bill Spencer rejected the idea of coincidences. In actuality, Bill hadn't given his history with Poppy much thought for years. However, his thoughts kept returning to that period of time while the paternity drama erupted all around them, their brief but intense affair, the way Poppy had vanished afterwards, and the persistent suspicion that she had been concealing something from him. Is it possible? Is Luna his? Steffi was working extra hours to maintain her family by any means necessary while Finn struggled with his choice, divided between defending his marriage and standing up for his recently found daughter. Bill was hiding in the shadows, knowing that his secret may completely alter the course of the game. The time of reckoning was drawing near rapidly. Finn had to make a choice. Would he stand up for his place in Luna's life, even if it meant defying Steffi? Steffi had to make a decision. How far would she go to maintain her ideal family life? And Bill had to make a decision. Was he at last prepared to face the prospect of having a second daughter he was unaware about? Nothing would ever be the same again, regardless of the decisions they chose. In the most surprising way, Hope and Finn were pulled to one another. They bonded over loss and heartache. Hope had recently experienced the heartbreaking rejection of Carter, a guy with whom she had started to envision a future, only to have her dreams dashed. As Steffi pushed Finn away following the stunning discovery of Luna's paternity, Finn's world was falling apart. Both were emotionally damaged and began to doubt their preconceived notions about commitment and love. Hope and Finn found themselves confiding in one another one evening during a shared vulnerable moment. As they discussed disappointment, betrayal, and the burden of expectations, their barriers collapsed across from one another. Finn talked about how painful Steffi's coldness was and how she cut him off when he most needed her. Conversely, Hope acknowledged that she felt as though she was constantly pursuing love, only to have it elude her. They became increasingly aware of how similar their challenges were the more they conversed. Both of them had grown weary of being the ones abandoned and of sacrificing so much for the sake of being seen as an afterthought. They came to an unsaid understanding in that instant, one based on their common suffering and the solace of knowing they weren't alone. Their bond got deeper as the night went on, making them both question whether this was the start of something new or just the aftermath of loss. Although Hope and Finn weren't searching for love, love occasionally found its way to individuals in the most unlikely places, in the midst of heartache.